to take thought beyond what it has been before. We are all the same. No one is better than anyone else in this room. And so we will only talk and discuss in order to help improve, not to put down. And so if you are in agreement that there's no judgment here and no repercussion, please raise your hand or put a 1 in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, AK. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Wendy. Where's Wendy? Joyce, thank you. Awesome. And so just know that in this room you are surrounded by unlimited, unconditional love. And not only am I surrounding you with unlimited, unconditional love, but we are all here to support each other and to surround each other with unconditional, unlimited love. And so if you could agree to that, I would really appreciate it. Please put a 1 in the chat as before or raise your electronic hand. Thank you, everybody. Awesome. And so let's declare this together as a safe space. And so all I want for you to do is to let everyone know we are in a safe space, and remind yourself, I am in a safe space. So you can put that in the chat, you can unmute yourself and say it, or you can raise your hand and let it be known.
I'm in a safe space.
Awesome. Thank you, AK. Thank you, Joyce. Amazing. Thank you, Wendy, Nancy. All right. Let's begin. So I just want to lay the foundation here for what law of attraction is and what manifesting means. Manifesting, the process of manifesting, is the process of materialization of our desires. That is the process of manifesting. And law of attraction teaches us all the things that we need to understand in order to figure out why things happen the way they happen. Because, I wrote a book called Why Do Bad Things Happen to Good People? The reason I wrote that book was because I felt that I was a good person, but my life did not demonstrate that. I couldn't understand why all these horrible things were happening to me, whereas I was trying to live by the rules. Law of attraction has enabled me to understand why those things happened. What was my role in their creation? And now I can see a situation and I know immediately where correction is needed. And I want to bring that information to everyone. So today you see, I look at my life and it's unbelievable. I own multiple properties. I've written 23 books. I've been on the TEDx stage. I've created a community on Facebook. And I've learned so much. I'm not the same person anymore. But it wasn't always like that. No. I was strangled by my husband when I was 2 months pregnant. I ran away from home because of that. I found an opening, an opportunity, and I ran. I ran to save myself. And then I was so afraid I couldn't sleep. I wasn't eating, and I was afraid for the baby that I was bringing into the world. And so I had to make so many decisions. Should I prevent this child from having a father? Is it so bad that I can't fix it? And in the end, I reached a point where I could look back and tell myself, I cannot fix this. It's not fixable. I don't know how to do it. And so I ran. And here I am today with all of what I've created because of the things that I've learned along the way. So I want to invite all of you to ask whatever questions you have, and I will try my best to help you as much as I can. So the floor is now open, and we go in order of hands raised. People who are live on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to put your questions in the chat, and from time to time I will pick them up as we go along. We are going to be here for approximately 1 hour, and that's it. So who has the first question? Who wants to get AK? Your hand's already raised, so go ahead. Let's get started.
Hi, Zahid. My question is, like yourself, I've bought your book, Why Bad Things Happen to Good People. I haven't really, bought it a while ago, but I haven't gone through the whole book so far. But my question is, I have been going through a pattern of constantly attracting toxic situations. And that's been going on for most of my life. Every time I meet somebody, it starts off really well and then it gets toxic.
Do you mean in a romantic relationship or all relationships?
No, just in general.
Okay.
Like if you're working with a co-worker, a boss. I mean, at the moment I've got. I'm not working at the moment, but I've got a coach that is a coach that's been assigned by the government to find me work, has been very difficult with me. And I was anxious about the meeting I was supposed to have yesterday, but she wasn't here. But I've got one in 2 weeks' time. And she's just creating a lot of problems. I don't know if it's something I'm consciously creating myself, or whether it's a bias she has about myself, which has created a difficult situation for me.
So, AK, the very first thing in law of attraction is the principle that we create our own reality. Once we accept that we are the creators of our own reality, both good as well as bad, now we can start looking at why did that happen? And it's complicated because in law of attraction, everything is linked to everything else. So it's not just about the relationships, it's everything affects everything else in law of attraction, which makes it complicated. It's hard to unravel the threads because what am I doing wrong? Which thing do I fix? So the easiest thing that I have found that has worked for me is to not look for the cause. Don't look for what did I do wrong, what is the other person doing wrong. Instead, become mindful and become a career appreciator. Like do appreciation as if your life depends on it all the time. Because if you can keep yourself mostly in appreciation, then slowly, you don't immediately go up the emotional scale. And this is one of the misconceptions that people have, is that, okay, I spent 3 days in appreciation, where's the change that I'm looking for? It doesn't happen that way. But with every day spent in appreciation, you start your journey going up the emotional scale, and slowly you will end up here. And when you end up here, what happens is everything that is below here, all negative things, are deactivated because you are high on the emotional scale.
Right.
So because all negative beliefs, in the face of appreciation, all negative beliefs are deactivated. This is why everybody teaches gratefulness, appreciation, because it really is the easiest way to fix our lives. So but you have to be mindful, you see, because your mind has had a lot of years, however old you are, your mind has developed a habit of going to the negative side of thought without your awareness that you're going negative.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So the main thing is to be aware of where you are. and to frequently ask yourself the question, how do I feel? How do I feel just now? And the answer will tell you how you feel. And then the next thing that you have to do is, okay, let me shift that. Let me go higher up the emotional scale.
Is it really the emotional scale? Because I got one up here, and like the bottom scale was fear, victimhood, depression, all that. And then the top part is joy, knowledge, appreciation, experiences.
There's no need to go so precise, because that really messed me up. It totally messed me up, because when I read the book Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks, and I looked at the description of the emotional scale, it was confusing to me, because then I would try and figure out which emotion am I feeling right now.
Right.
And the problem with that is, if I start doing that, if I try to figure out what emotion I'm feeling, then I am going negative. Because if I focus on, am I feeling angry? What am I doing? I'm focusing on anger. Am I feeling fear?
Right.
I'm focusing on fear. So that made it worse for me. Oh God, it made it way worse. So I don't do that, and I don't teach that. Instead, what I do teach and what I know.
It made it way worse.
Sorry. Hi, Kareen. Good to see you there. What I do is, I just want to know if I am feeling good or bad. That's it. It's very simple. If you do it that way. Good or bad? Does it feel good?
Good or bad?
If it doesn't feel good, okay, let me make it really simple for you, AK. This is what I teach in the groups. Are you a member of any of my groups, Facebook groups?
I'm on unlimited group. I've got a pseudo name, and I did try to sign up to yours, but for some reason they didn't put me on there. So.
Okay, it doesn't matter. But there are videos inside the groups. If you go under the guides tab, all the groups have videos under them. And the one thing that I want you to know is that the answer has to be yes, I feel good. Because if there's no such thing as I don't know how I feel. Because if you say I don't know how I feel, that means you don't feel good.
Right, okay.
Okay, so the easy way is, do I feel good? No? Well then, let's do something to feel good. That's very simple. Because it's very easy to identify whether you feel good. Am I feeling good? Am I happy? Do I feel happy? But you got to know what happiness feels like. So for me,
that's the thing. I don't know if it's happiness from an external point of view, or it's internally you're happy inside. That's the thing. I don't know either, because most of the time my happiness is something outside of myself that I feel from that.
I know completely.
Event or experience, rather than something that I feel inside, happy inside in general. So it's a difficult thing.
Totally, I get it because I was there. See, I had desensitized myself so much that I did not know the difference between feeling happy and not feeling happy. I didn't know the difference, because when we are going through a bad patch in life, one of the things that we do is we build a wall around ourselves so that we don't have to feel. I could not feel. And
that's why.
I know. So here's the exercise that I did. I realized one day that I have to start feeling. So a couple of things that I did. One of them I've already shared with you. I started asking myself, Zara, how do you feel? In third person. Right. Zara, how do you feel? Like someone else is asking me a question. Because the human mind is really funny. When someone else asks you a question, you respond immediately. When you ask yourself a question, sometimes you don't respond.
Right.
Right? So Zara, how do you feel? And I did that check-in with myself every half an hour to an hour. It became automatic with me. And the reason is because every half an hour or an hour, I used to ask myself a very different question. And the question I used to ask myself was, Zara, what do you think? And I realized that law of attraction, or being successful with using law of attraction means that I have to stop thinking and start feeling. So I changed the question because my profession is being an analyst. I was a professional analyst.
Right.
Which meant I always was asking the question, what do you think? And so I changed the question. I started asking myself, what do I feel? And the other thing I did was I went down memory lane, and I had to go a very long way down memory lane to find a time when I was truly happy. And I was truly happy when it was time to go for a picnic. I was truly happy if we were going on a train from one city to another city. I was so excited about train rides. I was truly happy when I was going to play with a balloon, when my parents had just bought me this gorgeous big balloon and I was going to play with it, or I was going to blow bubbles. Those were the times when I was truly happy. And so that became my benchmark, and I call it a benchmarking exercise. It's in the book Thrive, it's in some of my courses as well. Benchmarking is very important because if you don't know what joy feels like, if you've got nothing to compare your emotional state with, your current emotional state, how do you know what you're feeling? Okay? So, what does joy feel like? And I knew I wasn't feeling that happy. What I was calling happiness was going from a depression to somewhere above depression. And that was relief, it wasn't joy.
Right.
And
I see.
Okay. So
that's what I've been chasing, relief, more than anything.
So relief comes with appreciation. If you appreciate, and you've got to make a career out of appreciation and not refuse to think any other thoughts. And trust me, if you take a weekend off, if your job is such that you don't have to work on the weekends, please take a weekend, take 3 days and just spend them in appreciation. Literally, that is what retreats are supposed to be. A retreat is supposed to be 2 things. Okay? Because there are only 2 tools in law of attraction. I know people make up lots of exercises and tools. It's all crap. There are only 2 tools in law of attraction. One is appreciation and the other one is meditation. And all the other tools are a combination of these 2. A retreat, create a personalized retreat at home. You know, people talk about staycations. Just do a stay retreat and spend 3 days alternating between appreciation and meditation. And I don't mean meditation in the way that a lot of other people teach it. I mean meditation in the law of attraction sense, which means withdrawing your 5 senses from the world in order to go inside. And there are many videos on my YouTube channel. I have written a book about it.
Silence? Is it being silent?
It is being silent, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have music going. I have music going in the background when I do my meditation. Yeah, so you should, if you have the time and you're able to, attend one of my meditation classes.
Yeah, I do. I did that last week.
Okay, so
I'll be going to this week's one as well.
They're not weekly just now. They are once a month.
Oh.
And
okay.
I plan on making them twice a month, but just now they're once a month. So
right.
The thing is to understand that the music is helping you to be mindful, to not wander. Okay? The voice of the guide is helping you to be mindful, to stay in the moment rather than wander. That is.
I've used sorry to stop you. I've used ocean waves because that was a memory I had of how the beach is. Because I can't deal with heat.
Perfect.
So I saw feel the ocean, the shore,
perfect.
And the kind of crashing sounds of the waves.
Yes, that's perfect. Whatever works for you is good. So the main thing that I want to say to you is that it's about meditation and appreciation. If you spend 3 days all 16 waking hours in meditation and appreciation, trust me, in 3 days, you will not only feel better, but better things will start happening. All right.
Can I do it over a stage? In stages. So you said 16 hours. Could I do it over a period of like couple hours a day? Or do I need to do it over 3 days?
For 3 days, do nothing else except appreciation and meditation. If you want quick results.
Okay.
But being mindful is not optional. You got to be mindful all the time. You got to be mindful enough to know when you're going negative. Please do not go negative.
I'll do my best. I struggle with it though.
No, stop right there. Never say that again.
Right, okay.
Because by saying I struggle with it, you will continue struggling. Instead, say I am learning to do it.
Okay, I'm learning to do it.
Yes. All right, I'm going to move on to the next question.
Okay. Thanks very much anyway.
You are very welcome. Roberta, I'm going to take your question, and then I see questions on YouTube as well by Dinit. Dinit, I am going to go to you after Roberta. So Roberta says, how can I build or create my self-worth? I don't continue things because I never feel I'm good enough. Whoa. Roberta, I teach a 6-week program about self-worth. So obviously this is not a question that I can answer fully because self-worth is everything. Self-worth is everything. I can talk to you about self-worth for hours and I wouldn't be done. Because so if you look at law of attraction, there are 4 things in law of attraction that we work on. We work on prosperity, we work on health, we work on relationships, and we work on self-worth. But here's the thing. These 3 rest on the one. Self-worth, this is self-worth. It is the rock under your prosperity. It is the rock under your health. It is the rock under all your relationships. Self-worth is the reason why everything works, and self-worth or the lack of it is the reason why nothing works. So all of the work that we do is to improve our self-worth. And how do we improve our self-worth? We improve, so I recently did a short video about this. You see, the thing with self-worth is we are born with self-worth. We are worthy. We know as babies that we are worthy of every single thing. But that self-worth becomes covered with other crap. You know, you start believing in, somebody says, oh, you can't have everything you want, and we believe it. And then somebody says, you're stupid, and we believe it. And as people say things to us, instead of deflecting it and saying, you don't know who I am, we say, oh, maybe you're right. Maybe I am stupid. Maybe I'm not worthy. Maybe I have to stand on my head in 10,000 ways in order for you to love me. And when we start believing those kinds of things, our self-worth is covered up with all those negative beliefs. And then what we do is, because we don't know what's happening most of the time, at least I didn't know what was happening, what we do is then we sprinkle glitter over top. We wear a mask to hide the pain inside. So what happens is, over a period of time, we cover up our self-worth. And that's why when people start working with me, we peel away all those negative beliefs that are covering your self-worth, that are preventing your prosperity, that are preventing you from being in perfect health, that are preventing your relationships from being loving and harmonious. We peel away on those beliefs, and that is a process that takes time. It happens slowly. There are 3 people here actually. Hi Vivian, I didn't see you sneak in here, but Vivian, Nancy, and Wendy are on the call just now, and I know Nancy and Wendy have been working with me from day one of the creation of the Unlimited 365. And that was a while ago. And how has and Vivian joined, I want to say 2.5 years ago. So how, in what ways has your life changed? But first thing is, you've had to listen every day and you've had to do the work every day, right? You've had to show up. I know, Wendy, you binge. Like, you'll take a day and then you'll binge all the videos. I see you. And Nancy shows up every single day. And it's because of that consistency that Nancy was able to say that she was able to find a job within 33 days. Isn't that what you said, Nancy? Right? Yeah. Nancy is she is the only person I know who did so much work on herself that she went into a performance evaluation and her boss said, "Would you like a bigger raise? Let me give you a bigger bonus and a bigger raise." Right? Amazing, wonderful things can happen. But you have to do the daily work, which is why the 40-day workout, so these guys are members of the 365, which we take work beyond the 40-day, but you've got to do the 40 days, every single 40-day cycle in order for things to improve, right? So, Wendy, do you want to add anything? You're muted. Vivian?
There. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm on my phone instead of my iPad tonight, and the buttons are all different.
No problem. Talk about consistency and what it's done for you.
So I was very consistent. How long have I been in it? Nancy, how long were you in it? Because I started right before you, I believe.
I've been in it since February 9th, 2020.
Okay, I think I was 19, sometime in there. But anyways, yeah, I do it every single day, but I stopped with the morning videos because there I changed the time from 8 to 10:30. And 10:30 is like my most energy in the day time. So that's why now I go back and binge. So, but it's
How's your life changed?
Oh, huge. Right. Although I'm looking forward to the new course because I think I've come to a halt as far as further development because I know I need that course to uncover what is truly keeping me from going forward. I mean, I can just feel it.
You're ready for the next stage of growth.
Definitely.
I'm excited.
Definitely.
And thank you for saying that because I'm still growing. And I tell people in the group that when I learn something new, I write a book or I offer a course about it in order to communicate the new learning. So you do have to do the work every day. Vivian, did you want to say something? Because then I'm going to move on to the next question. Vivian, are you there? Okay, we'll circle back around to Vivian. Let's keep going. So on YouTube, there's a question. Dinith is saying, I manifest work targets and a good atmosphere in my office, but it only works half of the time. I consistently manifest every day. Okay, so here's the thing. When you don't have consistent results, all that means is that you are not consistent in your thoughts. That's all. When we become consistent in our thoughts, we become consistent in our emotions. And it's the emotional consistency that determines the consistency of good things happening in our lives. The more we are able to stay high up on the emotional scale, the more we stay in the vortex, then life just becomes so easy and so pleasurable, and things always fall into place. And one of the things, well, there's so many things, again, because your question, Dinit, is connected to Roberta's question, because it is ultimately about your self-worth, because the world is simply reflecting to you the emotional output that you've got going on. So if people are nice to you, that means you've got good energy going on inside you. If people are not nice to you, it's an indication that you might not be aware, but your thoughts are going in directions that are not helpful to you. So knowing, being aware, which is what I was helping AK to understand, is that we have to be aware. We have to be aware. And the retreat that I was telling him to do is a retreat that I have done for myself. And I can tell you that if you want to accelerate your results, that's the kind of retreat that is needed. You need to make time for this because your life literally depends on it. I'm surprised with people when they say, oh, I can't attend this because I don't have time for it. I'm like, hello? If you make time for it, everything else will become easy. And I did this. I retreated from the world and I did it for 30 days. And there is, like, at the end of those 30 days, I couldn't believe the kind of things that were happening in my life. Everything changed so rapidly that I really understood what a miracle is when I did that for myself. And what it means is you've got to be present every single moment. You've got to know whether you're going negative or positive. Because ultimately speaking, positive things happen when you are thinking positive thoughts. And if positive things are not happening all the time, it's just a reflection of where you are in your thoughts and your emotions. That's it. Our manifestation, so I've got a video on my YouTube channel about red lights. A red light is not a bad thing. When we are driving and a red light happens, we stop. It's not a bad thing. When a bad manifestation, something negative happens in our life, it's a red light. It is forcing us to stop and change something so that we can start experiencing green lights. So any manifestation works the same way. Good manifestations, bad manifestations, both work the same way. They are a reflection of our emotional state. They are a reflection of the thoughts that we are thinking. People treat us the way we are feeling. Things happen in response to the way we are feeling. The way we are feeling is the most important thing. It's not about the words you use, because the vibration attached to a word that you use, I can use the same word and have a completely different vibration attached to that word. So it's not about the words, it's about the emotion that the words generate. And that means thinking on purpose. I call it thinking on purpose. Abraham calls it thinking deliberately. Deliberate thought means I am aware of where my thoughts are going. It's like having a very powerful automobile in your hands, like you have your hands on the steering, but you are not steering the car. You've got to start steering it by paying attention to where it is going. I was that person who was not paying attention at all. That's why I kept asking the question, why do bad things happen to good people? But the problem was me. I was not paying attention to how I was steering my life. All right, I am ready for the next question. So is there another question in the house? Joyce, did you have a question?
I'm just here to listen. I know Sue and Chris, so
Awesome.
that's why I decided to join tonight.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Thank you for offering it on Zoom because I lost my Facebook account. Someone hacked it, so I appreciate this.
Oh, you are so welcome. Okay. Yes, they are amazing. Sue and Chris are amazing. Dinette says, for past 2 months, I've been doing my meditation and I keep feeling and visualizing the one thing I want to achieve in my life. However, I feel like something is not right with it. Well, sweetheart, here's the thing. If you listen to Abraham, then you've heard them say that the creation process is 3 steps. You ask, and then Abraham says, do nothing. Step 2 is not your work. The universe answers. And step 3 is receiving or allowing. I don't teach it that way. Here's how I teach it. Step 1 is asking. Step 2 is trusting. Trust. And if you trust, then step 3 happens automatically. The thing lands in front of you. The opportunity emerges. So if you are doing the visualization in order to make something happen that you want to see happen in your life, then you are keeping yourself in step 1, which is asking. That's not what visualization is for. And if you really, really, really want to learn how visualization works, I would love for you to grab the book Manifesting Toolkit, because it explains how visualization works. Visualization is supposed to be a tool for our enjoyment, which brings us up the emotional scale. Visualization is not a tool for asking. What you are doing, Dinette, is that you are keeping yourself in a place of asking. Every time you go to visualization, you tell yourself, I'm going to visualize because that's how the universe will give me the thing I want. And that's not how the universe gives us anything that we want. Universe gives us the things we want if we are in a place of joy. And you've got to be able to come out of your visualization and maintain that vibration of joy. What happens with a lot of people is that we come out of a visualization and then we go back to our life and start thinking about all the problems. So the value that visualization offers evaporates. It's gone. The value of visualization is in simply enjoying it without attaching any outcomes to it. If you use it as a tool to make something happen, you're not doing it the way it is meant to be done. You're slowing things down because that implies attachment to the outcome, and anytime you have an attachment to the outcome, then you are slowing down the manifestation process. Okay, so let me just read the rest of your comment. So that's the thing that is not right. And the same thing I want to say about meditation. If you sit down in meditation because your objective is to achieve a goal, then your meditation will backfire. The only purpose for meditation, the way we do it in Law of Attraction, I have to preface that because a lot of yoga teachers offer meditation and other people offer meditation, and it is not the same as what we do in Law of Attraction. The only reason in Law of Attraction to meditate is to connect with your inner being. That's it. Is to achieve heart and mind alignment, is to get your mind out of the way. Never ever do meditation with any other goal except to connect with your inner being. Because you've got to understand that even when your mind, your monkey mind, is off thinking negative thoughts and off track with Law of Attraction, Your inner being is always on track. Your inner being is manifesting on your behalf. What happens in meditation is when you get your mind out of the way, then your mind and your heart, I call it heart and mind alignment, become one. And now that enables things to accelerate in your favor. I've got a whole course about this. It's called the Heart and Mind Alignment Method. But that basically is what is required, is to get your head out of the way. But if you go into meditation with a goal, you're not getting your head out of the way. You're putting your head in the way. Don't do that. Okay? Awesome. So, Dinit, I hope that makes sense. AK, you have a question related to this? Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, when you said about Dinit's question, isn't it that once you kind of visualize a goal, you have to act as if it's already happened, don't you, in your day-to-day life? Is that correct or no? Am I mistakenly doing it the wrong way?
Sweetheart, you are not the only one. See, a lot of people teach visualization, and that's how they teach it. They tell you to do it as if you've already accomplished the thing that you want to accomplish. But those people who have had success with that method, they are up here on the emotional scale. They are not feeling a lack of the thing that they want in their lives. And therefore, that visualization succeeds. But if you are feeling the lack of something, which is you're saying to yourself, let me visualize so I can get this thing, then you are not up here on the emotional scale, because you are in a place of lack. And if you are in a place of lack and you do your visualization, it's not going to work. It's not going to give you the result that you want, because you are focused on the not having of it.
Right, okay. So it doesn't matter about the acting as if, allowing part.
It will backfire.
Appreciation part.
And the funny thing about this is that when you are up here in this part of the emotional scale, you don't feel the need to visualize the same event over and over again. You visualize it once and you forget it and you go about your life, because you have trust that the universe will deliver. People who visualize the same thing over and over again, that's an indication of lack of trust that the universe will give it to you, because it is an indication that you're still holding yourself in an asking pattern. You've not stepped into trust. Because when you trust, you don't have to ask over and over again. If a boss trusts an employee, they don't keep asking the employee over and over again. So trust is missing if you feel the need to do these things over and over again. Abraham says, ask and it is given. And I say, ask and shut up. Okay.
Okay, so the part, because that's the thing with Neville Goddard, I know you're talking about Abraham Hicks, but I mean Neville Goddard does it slightly different.
No. Neville Goddard does not do it at all differently. I love Neville. Neville is an earlier version of Abraham. Where Neville left it, because that's all he knew, Abraham picked it up and took it a step further.
Right. Okay.
Because Neville was not talking about momentum, did not even know momentum, and Neville was not talking about the emotional scale. And Neville spent his life in the higher part of the emotional scale. So he cannot teach people who are low on the emotional scale, because they are not in the same emotional place as him.
Right, okay.
Okay? And so now Neville's long gone. There are other people who are using Neville's material and putting their own interpretation over it. How many of them are successful? Like millions of people practice visualization, and maybe a few handful of them get what they want because of their visualization.
Right.
If it was working, then everyone in that group, in those groups, there are more than one, would have got what they want, and they are not. So
Right.
obviously they don't have the full picture.
Okay. So is it really just getting to the appreciation scale first and then practicing visualization the once and then letting go?
No. Again, let me repeat myself and then I'm going to move
Okay.
on to Vivian. So I'm going to repeat this which I have told you before.
Okay.
All you need to do is ask yourself, are you visualizing because you're still asking? Or are you visualization because you're not asking, you're just having fun? And
Right.
and here's the thing. If you're doing a visual, because you're going to hold yourself in asking mode, you will never receive. You've got to leave the asking mode and go to trust in order to receive. The problem is, if you are asking for, if you are visualizing for the fun of it, because that's what the tool is meant to be, then you never have to use visualization to see yourself accomplishing a goal. You can see yourself eating an omelette. That's enjoyable. Why do you have to see yourself achieving a goal? Because if you are doing repeated visualization to achieve a goal, trust me, you might think that you're high on the emotional scale, but you're not. You are not.
Okay.
Because people who are high on the emotional scale do not feel the need to ask the universe over and over again for the same thing.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
Gotcha.
All right. Awesome.
Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome. Hi, Sue. Good to see you here. All right. Vivian, go ahead.
Hey there.
Hi.
Hey, sorry about before when you asked me. I was in the running part of my workout, so I couldn't stop.
All good.
So now I'm on pause. So yeah, I was thinking about your question about just changes and things I'm aware of. So one of them is I'm definitely through repetition, I'm catching myself when I start going to the dump.
Yeah.
A lot more quickly, and then mindfully, intentionally turning around to go the other direction, usually through appreciation. And appreciation is getting easier.
Awesome! Yay! I'm excited.
Yeah, and a couple other things. So one is that I'm noticing I have a few kind of bigger topics in my life that used to cause, a lot of negative momentum. And what I'm finding is that I don't get hijacked in the same way. It's not near the same intensity. So things that are like historical, like technology, medical stuff, if there's problems with my cats, it's not so jagged and it's not so high. And I'm able to bring it down into a place, actually make a choice that's kind of an inspired action choice, as opposed to going completely off the rails and getting so anxious thinking, oh my God, it's always going to be this way, right?
Or, amazing. That means you have more control. Yeah.
Oh, much more control. I think it was something Samuel had said the other day about how anxiety is like, or fear is faith that bad things are going to happen. Mm-hmm. And so that there's kind of a flip there. And then the other thing I think that I've noticed too is that when I do have some kind of setback, and this is separate from, a hijack, but like just some kind of setback, I'm better able to reframe. So the example, I might have even mentioned this to you, is that I was getting my car painted. It was going to take 2 weeks, and it ended up being 5 weeks. So I was able to, in a much easier way than I would have thought, found a way to reframe it, to say, okay, I actually have all the resources I need. I can walk to the store. I can walk to my office if I need to see a client. If I have an appointment across town, I have people I could ask to take me. So I have resources. And this is my opportunity to practice faith, trust, and patience. So
well done.
These are some of the things that have changed, I think.
This is what you've learned over the 2 years that you've been doing the work.
Yeah, but let's be honest. It was really only a concerted thing in the last year because I had some hiccups. So
awesome.
it's been more concentrated. But anyway, I did want to share that with you. Thank you so
did.
much.
Awesome. That's awesome. Now, do you also have a question for us?
Nope, I just didn't want you to think I was ghosting you when you asked me the question.
No, I would never think so.
But I will say, you know what I'm most appreciative of today? Today is my anniversary.
Oh, yay!
And I'm very
Congratulations.
happy about that, even though my husband is in New York. We just, he had to go to a meeting, but before he went to the meeting, we were watching a sappy Hallmark romantic movie.
Oh.
And when he comes back at 9, we'll watch it again. And we started the whole thing off by listening to, oh, thank you, Nancy. Yeah, we were just listening to the audio that we have of the ceremony, which was really lovely to listen to again.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So, high vibe.
Yes, many congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. And thank you, AK.
All right. Go ahead, Nancy.
Hello, how are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
All right. I guess it's similar to I've already asked, but I need to either change something or do something else. I'm now headachy all the time, so I'm still overthinking. And my back's been bothering me again.
What's bothering you
I
again?
haven't had my back's been hurting me.
Okay.
Which hasn't happened in years. I've
Yes,
improved so much.
I know. Nancy,
So I know I'm still overthinking. I'm doing something
yes, you
wrong.
are.
I don't know.
No. It's just what you're doing is you've gone back to an old pattern because of the change in jobs. So there's the change. The two things that are happening in your life is your mother's health and the change in job. And both these things you spend too much time thinking about.
But how not to is my...
Well, pick something else. Pick something else. You know what is the best strategy? Is going neutral. So remember the analogy. I don't know if you remember. I don't remember if I've shared it with you. But if the car is going in reverse, it doesn't go from reverse to drive. First you put it into neutral, then it goes to drive. You know, like especially in manual cars, it's more obvious because you have to change the gear yourself. In automatic cars, it's not that obvious. But you don't go from going in the reverse and flipping. The car would flip if you tried to do that. Right? But that's literally what you're trying to do. Don't do that. You have to go to neutral. How do we go to neutral? We go to neutral by thinking about things that don't have any sort of real emotional movement for us. So if I was to pick up this bottle of water and start describing it, when I describe this water bottle, it's not making me jump up and down for joy. But it's not dropping me down into the depths of despair or overwhelmment either. So I just have to pick things that are neutral, unemotional, and describe them.
Yeah, I've been doing the 2-minute appreciation thingy.
So, and then after that, stop asking whether you're doing enough.
Yeah, about that.
That's the other thing is this good enough? Am I doing a good enough job? Don't do that to yourself. Right? When you well, that's the thing. I know what's going on with you. That's what I'm saying. What you have to do is congratulate yourself. Oh, look at that. I remembered. I did my 2-minute exercise. Look at that. I went neutral. I did my pre-paving. You, instead of beating up on yourself and asking yourself whether you're doing enough, start congratulating yourself. Nancy.
In my mind, I think I'm not doing enough and I need to add more, even though I'm headachy and tired all the time.
No. Relax. Because when you say, am I doing enough? That's a stressful thought. Just close your eyes. I'm just going to do a very quick thing with you. So just breathe all the way in and breathe out. One more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Tell your mind and your body to relax. Awesome. And imagine that you've just come out of a 2-minute appreciation exercise. And you're asking yourself, when is this headache going to go away? Am I doing enough? Can I get a sign, please, universe, to let me know if I'm doing enough? And just feel how that feels. Okay? Yeah. All right. Now close your eyes again. You know how that felt, right? Okay. I wonder if my mother, oh, sweetheart, I love you so much. If I call my mother, will she remember who I am? Okay. So now, close your eyes again and just breathe and tell yourself, I am incredible. Things are always working out for me. I am doing the best I can. And I am so proud of myself for remembering to do appreciation as much as I can during the day. Breathe that in, let it go, and let it be done.
Okay.
Which one felt better, Nancy?
And you're reading my mind exactly.
But that's exactly, your self-talk has to change. Right? You're like a very strict headmistress principal, and you keep sending, you are the principal and you keep sending incredible Nancy to the principal's office. Don't do that. You are good enough. You are doing your best. And there will be times, there are for all of us, when we can do a little bit more. And there are times when we cannot do any more than what we are doing. And there are times when we can't do anything at all because we are so exhausted. And you know what, Nancy? Through all of those times, the universe loves you equally. The universe does not love you less when you're not doing enough. The universe does not stop guiding you when you think you're not doing enough. In fact, when you think you're not doing enough, the universe is loving you and guiding you even more. That is why you feel bad. The reason you have a headache is because you are too hard on yourself. Stop it. If you know it, then do something about it. Because the universe is sending you a headache after another one to let you know that it's a red light. So you got to change something, which means you got to stop thinking that way. And last of all, but biggest of all, stop asking yourself in the morning whether or not you're going to have a headache today. Don't do that. Because what do you activate when you think that way?
I know, it's like day 3 already. So, all right.
Don't, because you look for it. The first thing, you open your eyes and you look for the headache. So the headache finds you. Don't do that. Don't expect a headache. Because that expectation is a belief.
I know.
So you
And
gotta...
Raj is always leading by example what not to do, even. Like with that lady I told you about. Oh, I don't want this Mary to call. I don't want her to call. And then the phone rings and it's Mary.
Exactly. So you know it. You know it. Be gentle on yourself and practice it. We are all here for you. You know that. You have lots of support in the 365. We are all cheering for you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right, guys, let's see. Sue, did you have a question?
I didn't really. I actually forgot that we were doing this tonight, and somebody nicely reminded me, which was good. I was like, oh, forgot about that. Listening to Nancy, I just feel like, oh my God, we're such kindred spirits, because I do so much of the same that she does. You know, the overthinking, just expecting so much of yourself, doing everything you're supposed to do. But I think that you do leave that out, that part of appreciating yourself, appreciating how well you're doing. You know, that's one of the things that I'm short on.
And Sue, I think it was before you joined, I was talking about asking the question, how do I feel, over and over again during the day? Because when you ask that question, then you start paying attention to your feelings. And if you find that you're not able to say, I feel good, if you can't say, I feel good, then you are feeling bad. Sometimes people say, well, Zara, I don't know how I feel. Well, if you don't know how I feel, if that's the answer, then that just translates into not feeling very good. And you know what you have to do when that happens. Just get your mind off of your day and start describing a bottle of water or anything else that's neutral, or find something to appreciate, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I can totally do that at the store, get my mind in a place that's not good, you know, and forget about appreciating stuff.
Well, I know, and life, it seems as if things are moving so fast during the day that you don't have time to take a breath and stop. You know, but you have to do it, because if you do it, this changed things for me so much when I realized that my real goal is to change the way my day is going. And if I don't take the time to breathe, remember you and I, we were talking about taking a breath a couple of weeks back. Just stop and breathe.
I did the alternating nostril breathing yesterday, and that really helped a lot.
Exactly. So just, but you got to take the time, because it's going to fix the rest of your day. Things are going to go better after you do the work. So just do the work.
Yeah, because by the time I leave the store, half the time I'm just like, I just need to go and lay down. All I can do is go home and sleep. You know,
and sleep is amazing, but sleep is amazing. It's a healer, it's a fixer. Sleep is amazing, but we want to start having better days.
Yeah, I like that. How do I feel? How do I feel?
Yeah, just ask yourself.
Do that on my arm. I'll just write it in ink.
Yeah, I had yellow stickies. Yellow stickies are my best friend. Yellow stickies, pink stickies, green stickies, all over the place.
Yeah.
We need reminders, because we're trying to develop a new habit. And new habits develop when we put into place strategies that remind us to do the work that we need to do.
Yeah. That's excellent. Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right, guys. Last call for questions before I close the call. So anyone have a question for me? What happened here? If there are no questions, then we can go ahead and close the call. I hope this was helpful. So before I close the call, I'm just going to go around and ask you guys to contribute what you're taking away today. Starting with AK, because he got us started today.
Your information about appreciation, and that was a theme throughout the whole group as well. That's something I want to grab and do, more of. So
Amazing.
That's something I learned today.
Awesome. Very, very happy. Send me a message, AK.
Okay, I'll do that. What, directly from your email or?
Either one. Just connect with me.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. I want to give you some more resources. So just send me a message.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
You are welcome, my dear. Nancy, what are you taking away today?
I need to go neutral more and appreciate more and more 2-minute exercises.
Awesome. Good, good, good.
Thank
And you're welcome, my dear. Joyce, what are you taking away today?
Also to be more consistent about meditating and to do it on a daily basis because it's easy to get lazy. And then we wonder why things aren't working out for us.
Yeah, that's so important. Consistency is so important. Awesome. Wendy.
More appreciation. I'm kind of in the same boat as Nancy, but with my chronic pain, and it's just been pretty bad. I've been dealing with trying to find a place for my dad to live in, so that brings me down. And like Nancy, his girlfriend has Alzheimer's, so it's very difficult to keep myself high when I'm with them.
Right.
Because, yeah. So, the 2-minute exercises and more appreciation is really going to help, I think.
Awesome. Yes.
And I'm looking forward to your upcoming course.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, that's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, totally, totally. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so absolutely welcome. I'm so happy that you came tonight. And Vivian.
There a couple things. One, I appreciate that you had me reflect on what those changes are, because I think it's really important to kind of bring that up to the forefront. I appreciated the little tip about instead of just saying how I'm feeling, do it in it's second person, right? Where you go, Vivian, how are you feeling? So that you don't tune it out. And I also appreciated kind of this idea that you can really, if you wanted to take a 3-day period and just really super saturate with the appreciation and really, really steeping in it, that it's going to accelerate your results rather than doing a little bit here, a little bit there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And 3 days is, if you immerse yourself, you can create so much positive momentum. It's going to change everything. Very good. Awesome. And we come back to Sue.
Mine would be asking myself how I feel all day long. That's excellent. Really needed that.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me tonight. And those of you who are in the 365, I will see you tomorrow morning. And others of you, I will see you next month. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. People on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed that. And again, this is a monthly event every third Tuesday of the month. And so I haven't been posting it going live on YouTube, but I plan to do so from now on. Take care, and I'll see you next month. Bye for now.